We got a question from Luis. And let me see, question is, we were having a healthy conversation about cities run by Dems and how the policies are destructive when something I've never heard before was offered by a bystander. It's like, what bystander? Why are you getting up in our business, man? Okay, he said that Alabama and Mississippi are run by Republicans and are the poorest states in the nation. I had no comment because I don't have any data. What is your take on this fact? If we claim Dems are ruining cities, his claim is Republicans ruin these states. Is it true?
No, I mean, there are poor states in the country, and it's entirely possible that there are policies that could be put in place that aren't being put in place. But the Democrat cities are rich cities. New York is a wealthy city. San Francisco, wealthy city. LA, these are cities where money is pouring in. It's pure policy that makes them descend into chaos and homelessness and crime. And the thing about this that is kind of painful to me is now that I'm like 140 years old, I saw this before. I lived in New York at its worst moment, the moment when there was Son of Sam and, the Puerto Rican terrorist, FALN, and the crime was so high. Seriously, people would call me up and say, "Can I visit you?" And I would say, "You can visit me, just don't go out at night," that kind of thing. And it was all policy. And when Giuliani came in, they did just what they did to Trump, just what they did to Reagan. They called him racist every single day because they wanted to clean up crime. Saved thousands of minority lives, by cleaning up the crime. And the city became one of the greatest cities. New York became one of the greatest big cities on the face of the earth. It is now descending back because they've got a left-wing mayor. So we know it's policies. We know it's the policy. And I'm not saying, look, these states, I don't know that much about Mississippi. These are out of my bailiwick. I'm not saying there are not policies there that they could use to draw business and things like that, because that's what it's all about. But I know these cities are rich. I mean, there's so much money flowing into San Francisco, and it's a cesspit, we know it's policy, and we know it's about, when they sit around talking about the rights of the homeless people, the cops go nuts, because all the cops want to do is, it's not good for people to live on the street. The cops want to clean the place up, So it's just frustrating, because we know with the cities it's policy. That doesn't mean, I don't know about Mississippi, I don't know if they're well run, but we know these cities could be better run because we've seen it happen before.
Indeed. And if I could ask really quick, would you say that there's a difference between a place that's an expensive city or an expensive state, or a rich city? Because there's a difference to me. It's like these places, it's not so much they're rich, they're just expensive. They're expensive to live there. And by the time you fork over your overhead to live there, if you're not like wealthy, then you're just living from paycheck to paycheck, even if you may have like a six-figure income.
But the tax base is so big because New York's got Wall Street, San Francisco's got the tech industry, LA's got Hollywood. They've got all this money that they could, it's all about how you use it. So yeah, they're expensive cities, no question about that, but they do not have to be badly run, chaotic cities. That's my only point.